our Juneteenth celebration, which is Friday, and we're reading Juneteenth, Celebrating the End of Slavery by Jenny Levy, published by the Rosen Publishing Company. What is Juneteenth? Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration of the ending of slavery. It began in Galveston, Texas, and spread across the United States. People celebrate Juneteenth as a special time to remember the past, honor freedom, and be together with family and friends. Grown-ups and children were taken by force from their homes in Africa and brought to America to work as slaves. Slavery was a terrible system in which one group of people owned another. Slaves were an important part of life on large plantations in the southern states. Farmers used slaves to plant, tend, and harvest crops because it was cheaper than paying someone to do the work. Slaves were not treated well and had no freedom. The American Civil War. Many people in the northern states wanted to end slavery. Most people in the southern states wanted slavery to continue. The disagreement between the North and the South started the American Civil War in 1861. President Abraham Lincoln signed a special paper called the Emancipation Proclamation, which said that slaves were to be set free. When the North won the war in 1865, slavery ended. Many slaves who had escaped from the South fought on the side of the North during the American Civil War. There were other free black people from the northern states who also fought for the Union. All slaves are free. General Gordon Granger was a leader of the Northern Army. He became the governor of Texas after the Civil War. On June 19, 1865, he arrived in Galveston, Texas, with the news that the war was over and the North had won. He read a special announcement that said, "All slaves are free and all people have equal rights." As soon as the freed slaves heard this, they began to celebrate. Slaves in Texas were the last in the country to receive word that slavery had ended. The first Juneteenth. The tradition of Juneteenth began on the evening of June 19, 1865, when thousands of freed slaves filled the streets of Galveston, Texas. They sang, danced, and prayed to celebrate their new freedom. They also prepared special foods. They barbecued meat, cooking it over fires built in holes in the ground that were lined with rocks. Barbecue comes from a Native American word that means to cook over coals. Barbecue is still a part of many Juneteenth celebrations. The clothes of freedom. Clothes were an important part of early Juneteenth celebrations. During slavery, there were laws that told slaves what they could wear and what they couldn't wear. When slaves first learned that they had been set free, many threw away their slave clothes. They put on new clothes like the ones their owners had worn to show that they were free and had equal rights. Juneteenth celebrations. Many activities besides dance, song, food, and prayer have become traditions of Juneteenth celebrations. Sometimes there are parades. Often the Emancipation Proclamation is read. Education is considered important, so there are educational speeches. People can also fish and play games like baseball. Elders are often asked to share their memories of things that happened in the past. Special foods. Juneteenth celebrations include foods that were a traditional part of plantation life, such as barbecued meat, collard greens, sweet potatoes, cornbread, and pecan pie. Many red foods were prepared to remind people of the blood spilled during the Civil War. There are red drinks, red barbecue sauce, and a special emancipation cake. There are always plenty of food during a Juneteenth celebration. And the last page of the book has a recipe for emancipation cake. You can check that out when the library building opens again. Okay, well, I'm glad we could learn a bit about this special observance, which is on Friday this year. Bye-bye.